is there something that is coming to the game that can help players feel more faith that the game is moving in the right direction for longevity? I mean, you sort of
Yes,
said that the game's not going nowhere. You can't have said that, but is there anything you can say sort of like, I know you can't say too much about what's coming, but
I'm going to ask you a bit of a question here, and you don't have to tell me the answer, but it would help me
I'll tell you
portray the
straight.
answer. In an endurance event, how much would you probably put into the game, and how many battles would you do?
Ooh,
Say
battles
like you're going
wise,
for, say like you're going for 3.5 million. We're talking about not HQ18, talking
I
previous
reckon
to that.
comfortably $100 bundle will get you there.
Yeah,
$80, $60 if you are super efficient and playing all weekend.
yeah,
All
okay.
weekend, $60, maybe even 40 a real push. But you're talking like a free to play guy would go 35k all weekend. $40 if you're just using it to buy cells alone. And so you're not
So,
worried about XP. So obviously, the more money you spend, the more XP you're gonna get. So if you go to $100, you're getting pure XP all weekend. You're smashing it out. All your bots are getting leveled, and you're making that cut. So it depends
let's
on.
say let's say roughly then $60. Let's say $60 for yourself.
I think 80 is more realistic,
80.
but
Okay,
let's say
let's go 80.
80.
Let's go
But
$80
I
then. And
still
how many
reckon
battles would you do with $80?
400 maybe.
400 battles. Okay, so you're doing 400 battles, $80. And that would probably get you what, the 5 star in the
Yeah,
endurance? Easy.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, so what the team want to do is they want to cut playtime. So why can't you spend $80 and do half your battles?
I don't think the problem is weekends. I
Yeah,
don't.
but there's some people out there that don't want to do 400 battles over a weekend. So why can't you spend that amount
Yeah,
but
but
do
the problem
half the
is,
battle?
if you're free to play and doing the $40, you're talking like 800 battles, maybe 700, and something silly like that. That's the playoff
Hmm.
of. Listen, I could spend $200 and be done in 10 hours if I wanted to. It's a case of
But
how much do you want to
do you
spend and
not
how many
think
battles
that
do you want to
encourages?
do.
Do you not think that's to some players really draining to do
Well,
400
the
battles?
problem you've got 400 battles, no. The 700, yes. The problem you've got is, do you want time burnout or monetary burnout? Because it's literally a seesaw, and you will never get it perfect. You're gonna tip either way. Either you're gonna go less monetary burnout, but you're gonna use all your weekend like free to play players. I don't know how they do 35, 40k every weekend. I honestly don't know the amount of effort they put in, and I've always said that
It's
is
insane.
incredible. It is, but then vice versa. I don't understand these people that put $300 every week or $200 into every event every weekend and smash it out like these people in my alliance have got every single 5 star maxed out and they're spending $200 or $300 every weekend. And that monetary burnout, I mean, some people obviously privileged enough to do that, but still, you can't sustain that either. So it's getting the balance sort of,
Yeah,
right.
I think from a team's point of view, and the survey really does kind of support that trend. Is players naturally want to play the game a little bit less than they do.
Hmm.
So I think that's where the team are going to be thinking in New Year. Okay, then how can we get people to do what they're doing at the minute, but then half the game time, or even take away 40% of that game time, so they can do other things.
I've
Yes, we know Titan Assault and things like that, but maybe things will get easier as time goes on.
I've got a good analogy here actually. This is actually true. So this weekend's event, I've
Yeah.
done 10k. Because I don't really need a spark, and I'm going to choose. I'm not going to do the rest of the things. I don't really need the G1 I need, but I'm looking at one or two G1s, and that's it. And it's a very slim chance, so I don't see the point. And you know what? I'm actually fine with that. I like the 10k prizes, and then 35 is optional. I kind of like that. So I've used today to do Zen farming because I know I'm going to need Zen for HU18.
You
I,
will.
right, I have done the most Zen farming over the last 2 weeks than I have done in the last 6 months because I know there's a need for it. The problem is with most people, they've got lots of Spark, they've got lots of Zen, and they're like, I don't need to Zen farm. I don't need to get Spark, so I don't need to do these battles. And it's kind of boring that some things you've got to do, like your um, Titan Assault. You've got to do it to keep up, sadly. But it is just monotonous, and there's not much prize on offer other than a bit of Titan Spark.
And
Whereas,
this is the
it's
same
the
applies.
need. You need a demand for that resource. Once there's a demand for that resource, then you are going to want to play a bit more and put a bit more effort in. But it's sort of like the raids aren't as important. Let's be honest. Shadix aren't as important right now. It's sort of a nice thing for lower down players, maybe to get some nice things. For top guys, it gives you a bit extra. But again, but for me, you have to do Titan Assault. at the minute you have to do Zen farming. You have to do events. You've got to do all these things, and it's very easy to say, well, you don't have to. But if you want to be a top player, you have to, and you're sort of
Yeah.
forced. Where I know some other games will go, listen, if you want to play this, you can do, and you'll get this resource. If you want to do this, you get this resource. And it depends on if you've got so much of X resource, then go and do that other thing instead. You know, if you said to me, right now, Wozza, do you want to do Combiner, Combat Spark, Spark, or Zen? I'd be like, I want to do Zen. I've got enough for all that Spark. I'm sure there's plenty of people who go, I want to do Combat. And there might be a few people who be like, you know what, I want to do normal Spark. And you get people to sort of choose, like, I want to do this resource. That's the one I need, and that's what I'm going for. But by doing one event that has just one type of Spark, say, then you're alienating some people to like, I don't really want to do that event because I don't need that resource. You know, again, maybe a choice. I don't know, but then it goes down to, you know, I get it's a gotcha game, so there's a lot of, you know, I understand
Yeah,
that. But again, if you give people a choice, they'll choose whether they want to or not. You know, what events they want to do and what they don't. And that's why I do like the individual events, but it does lack a bit of, you know, it's hard, and it is, and I get it. It is hard, but you know, the individual events are good because you can choose what to do rather than being pressured.
Yeah, and I think with all the time that you've got, you know, you have to do this and this and this and this to be a top player, the team do want to try and see if they can cut that game time down. And even on battles as well, it can be a slog for some players. It can be. And I think if we make the change there and we make a few other changes, you'll be spending less time on other things, and then it just won't see as draining to be a top player. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But that is something that's coming hopefully in 2023. The team want to try and see if they can make that happen. But the survey does show that players do want to play the game less, not because they hate it, but because they're putting in far too many hours at the moment, which we don't want it to become a full-time job. It's a game, you know, it's a game. We don't want it to be a full-time job. So yeah,